Hey everyone, this is Heidi Gusted from the blog Hands Occupied and the designer of this month's issue's geometric throw pillow pattern. In this video, I'm going to walk you through what it looks like to finish off this pillow and how you accomplish the seaming. So we've worked our whole geometric pillow. So we've started out by starting from the center of the pillow here with this bias knit, so knit on the diagonal square of garter stitch. Then we worked flat, forming this garter chevron before working in the round as we go outward throughout the pillow. Then once this front side square was completed, we started working down the back, working in rows of 2 stripes of one color followed by 2 stripes of the other color for this really cool geometric finished look. And so then, once you've constructed that initial long rectangle that becomes your pillow cover, what we also did in the pattern was bind off on 1, 2, 3 sides of the pillow. Now what I did was I took a standard 18 by 18 inch pillow form, which all of these pillow forms have a little zipper usually over like half of one side seam, like the one I have in here, which I'm going to unzip. You can get these at big box stores like Joann's, Michael's, and even other places, or you can give an old throw pillow a makeover as long as it's 18 by 18 and have this pillow cover pattern work for you. So the big tip I have when inserting your pillow form, so I've done the 3 sides bound off and I seamed as invisibly as possible. I didn't use any specific technique. I just worked into the bind off edge and I seamed all the way up the pillow to line up my opening with the zipper. But since I didn't want to stretch out this opening too much before seaming it, the biggest tip I have is pulling out some of the stuffing of the pillow before you put the form in to the cover so that it's a little smaller, and then when your pillow's all snug in there, you can stuff the cotton back in to get your pillow nice and fluffy. So let's put this stuffing back in here and zip up our pillow form. And we can zhuzh the stuffing of our pillow in a little bit just so it's not as lumpy looking. But what I'm here to show you the most is how I did the seaming. So again, I seamed these 2 sides to this point for stuffing the pillow form in there, but once it's in there, you need to close it up. If you're really good with a sewing machine or hand sewing, you could install a zipper if you prefer. I just think it's just as easy to seam the thing closed and be done with it, and then not have any lumpy notions to worry about either. All right, so I've got my yarn in my green color here threaded. Green is color B in this pillow. And what we're going to do is I've woven the tail in to this seam here, and now I've got some yarn to work with. So I'm just going to do, it's basically just like a whip stitch to keep the worked stitches hidden as much as possible. So I'm going to go through this V right here of this stitch and then go back up into the stitch above it from the inside like you would a whip stitch, so that when it's pulled shut, it's all hidden. If you can see really close in here, the vertical lines of yarn, those are all the whip stitches that you do to close this piece. So let's do some more so you can see how I did those. Again, working from the inside and then back up from the inside through that next stitch. And try to keep, your stitch count should be the same on both sides, so you should try to keep those lined up. But if as you work you're finding your stitches not quite lining up, just work a couple of them together, almost like you would do a knit 2 together or purl 2 together, but with sewing so that your work is nice and clean. So let me show you what that would look like. So I just worked in this stitch, you can see the yarn coming out of it here. Let's pretend that I want to work that stitch again. So instead of going to this stitch next to it, I just go back into the same one to gain myself a little bit of room to make sure my stitches stay all lined up. And so I'm just going to continue seaming this shut so I don't have a pillow with a big hole in it, but that's all you've got to do to finish this pillow. So once you've got your pillow all seamed, you're good to go. I recommend also giving this pillow a quick spray with some Scotchgard or another fabric protector to keep it nice and beautiful for as long as possible. If you've got any questions for us, go ahead and reach out and tune in again soon for more knitting tutorials in the next issue.